The summer sun beat down, but all I felt was a chill in my bones, standing behind the lattice fence, watching a stranger command my backyard like it was her own. That pool, shimmering under the heat, wasn't just water, it was where I held my father's hand as he slipped away, promising him I'd guard this land. My name's Ellie, and this is the story of how Lisa, a woman with a whistle and a smirk, tried to steal what was mine, and how I fought back without raising my voice. It started on a July afternoon, groceries digging into my arm, tomatoes and cilantro wilting in the bag. I froze when I saw her, Lisa, arms flailing, whistle shrieking, teaching toddlers to float, and saw my saw pool. Kids splashed, obly vy us, while she barked orders like a general on conquered ground. My yellow Adirondack chair, cracked from last spring's storm, sat by the deck, a quiet reminder this was my home, not some HOA playground. I didn't storm in. I stood there, heart pounding, betrayal sinking in like cold mud. Had I missed something? Was grief blurring my reality? No. This was my land, my legacy, and she was trampling it. I walked the gravel path my grandfather laid, each step grounding me. This wasn't just property, it was a vow to my dad, a man of calloused hands and quiet strength. At the pool gate, I waited, letting Lisa feel my stare. She finally turned, sunglasses glinting, and gave me a look like I was a stray leaf. "What are you doing here?" I asked, calm but firm. She adjusted her shades, lips curling. "HOA approved community swim lessons. You the new tenant." My jaw tightened. "This isn't a neighborhood pool. It's my property." Her smile faded, sharp now. "Take it up with the board," she snapped, laughing like I was a child. I repeated, "I'm not in your HOA. You're trespassing." She turned away, blew her whistle, and ignored me. That's when it hit, not just anger, but every doubt I'd ever buried, every time I'd been dismissed. I walked away, silent, but something shifted. Inside, I dug out the cedar box where Dad kept the deed. His handwriting, steady even in old age, traced the land's borders. 50 years ago, he'd carved this parcel free from county oversight, beyond the reach of HOAs and bureaucrats. I drove to the county clerk, where a kind woman confirmed my land was an island self-governed, untouchable. Then she frowned, printing a sheet. Lisa had tried 2 years ago to annex my lot into her HOA. It was rejected. She knew. And yet, here she was, acting like she'd won. I locked the pool gate, set up trail cameras, and rigged a monitor by the kitchen window. If she came back, I'd be ready. And she did. The next weekend, with more kids, more gear, and a sign. "Saw community swim class, saw." She climbed over my lock with a stepladder. My blood boiled. I marched out, phone in hand. "Leave," I said. She shouted at a kid to stop whining, then turned to me. "Stop harassing me." I held up the county documents. She waved HOA bylaws. "You're trespassing," I said. "I'll call the police," she shot back. "Do it." She did. The sheriff arrived, and Lisa stormed over, pointing at me, demanding I be removed for disrupting her community program. I handed him the deed, the map, the rejection notice. He nodded, turned to Lisa, and said, "You're trespassing." Her face crumpled, smugness gone, rage flashing. She stormed off with the kids, fuming. I said nothing. This wasn't about apologies. It was about boundaries, and I was just getting started. The next morning, barefoot on the porch with bitter coffee, I watched the pool reflect the dawn. Lisa wouldn't stop. People like her never did. They schemed, regrouped, came back louder. I drove to town with Dad's documents, stopping at the sheriff's office to file a report. The deputy nodded, respect in his eyes, and handed me a complaint copy. At the zoning office, a woman who'd seen it all leaned back, whistling. HOAs pull this stuff: newsletters, signs, mowing your lawn, then fining you for rules you never signed. She notarized an AFIDA VYT, saying, "Beat them by knowing the rules better than they do." At the market, a flyer caught my eye. Saw summer swim lessons, free for HOA members, saw my address in bold. I tore it down, bought caution tape, and marked my property gate, patio, steps with saw, private property saw signs. I taped a note to Lisa. Saw any unauthorized entry is criminal trespass. Saw no anger, just purpose. A week passed quietly, but every slow car, every distant voice made me tense. I wasn't scared. I was ready. Saturday came, humid and gray. I checked the monitor, nothing. Then, just before noon, gravel crunched. Lisa's SUV pulled up, but no kids this time, just two men in polos, clipboards in hand. She greeted me like we were friends, saying they were HOA reps to clear up confusion. One offered papers. I didn't take them. Read the sheriff's report? I asked. Lisa cut in, claiming community used precedent. I turned to the men. My land's not under your jurisdiction. I have proof. Keep pushing, and it's harassment. One shifted. The other coughed, suggesting an HOA meeting. I almost laughed. I'm not in your HOA. This isn't a debate. Lisa accused me of hostility. I pointed to the camera above the shed. I've been patient. Now I'm resolved. They left, tires spinning, Lisa muttering. On the porch, in Dad's old chair, I exhaled. The land was quiet, but it was the calm before a storm. I knew Lisa wasn't done. A few days later, a box appeared at my Gatino note. Just an HOA brochure and a form offering to waive dues if I joined and shared the pool. Saw in the spirit of community saw, it read. I tossed in the compost, stomach churning. At the post office, I overheard whispers about the pool lady and the sheriff. One woman called me unneighborly, selfish. I stood silent, heart sinking. Lisa was rewriting the story, painting herself as the hero, me the VY lane. I called Sarah, a law school friend who ate real estate disputes for breakfast. She listened, then asked if I'd filed no trespass warnings with the county. I hadn't, beyond signs and the sheriff's report. Meet me tomorrow, she said. We drafted a cease and desist letter, sharp as a blade, citing every incident, law, and witness. Sarah filed it, sending copies to Lisa and the HOA. Let them talk, she said. Their story will collapse. Then a Wednesday flyer hit every store and board in town. A Sawtown forum on property use saw, with a stock photo of a pool like mine. Lisa was rallying the community, framing me as the heartless recluse. Fury settled in, cold and clear. I told Sarah I'd gone it to argue, but to be seen. At the library hall, in Dad's ranch coat, I sat in the back. Lisa glowed at the front, preaching unity and shared resources. Residents spoke some genuine, others coached about kids, traditions, inclusion. Eyes drifted to me. A man asked if the landowner was here. Lisa froze. I stood, slow and calm, nodded once and sat. The room stilled. Lisa's next words faltered. I stayed till the end, then walked out, boots steady on pavement. I'd shown them I was real. Days besaid no fly airs, no strangers. I walked the land with my dog, touching Dad's cedar posts, reclaiming what Lisa tried to steal. Sarah filed a final affidavit of VYT, a legal wall around my property. Her letter to the HOA was a warning. One more move, and they'd face consequences. I felt the tension lift, not because Lisa changed, but because she'd been exposed. At the forum, her control cracked, and she knew it. One Sunday, I saw her by the road, alone, hands in her pockets. We locked eyes across the fence, no words, no gestures. She turned and left, gravel crunching. That was the last time. The HOA meetings continued, but my name faded. The signs vanished. The pool was mine again. I swam alone, the cold water washing away months of wait. Victory wasn't loud, it was waking without dread, planting tomatoes without watching the road, finding no footprints where none should be. Lisa took my peace, my trust, but not the land. I kept Sarah's final summary in Dad's cedar box, her note reading, "You won the quiet way." Fall came, leaves blanketing the old stones I once skipped across. I rebuilt the rose trellis, repainted the shed door with our family name. The pool stood still under the autumn sky. No whistles, no strangers, just water, wind, and time. I hadn't shouted. I hadn't burned bridges. I'd stayed. And sometimes that's the loudest thing you can do. But here's where it gets messy, and I want your take. Was I too harsh, locking the gate and shutting out the kids? Should I have shared the pool to keep the peace, or was standing my ground the only way? What would you do if someone like Lisa claimed your space, your memories? And how far would you go to protect what's yours? Would you stay quiet like me, or fight louder? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button if this story got your blood pumping, and subscribe for more real-life battles. Let's keep this conversation going.